In this video, we will explain absolutely everything you need to know to travel to Morocco, the magical and exotic gateway to North Africa. This is the definitive guide and the most complete video you will watch today about the country where Arab culture mixes with ancient Berber traditions, the place where you can get lost in the chaotic labyrinths of the old Medinas, buy colorful spices in vibrant markets and sleep under a sky full of stars in the endless dunes of the Sahara Desert. We will cover everything from the logistics of how to get around by bullet train or with private drivers how to choose the perfect accommodation in the famous hidden palaces called riads. And what is the secret to haggling in the leather and rug markets without being ripped off? We will also tell you about the vital requirement of travel insurance to venture into the mountains and where to taste the true dish cooked slowly in clay pots. So let us get started. Morocco is a country of overwhelming contrast that awakens all your senses at the same time. It is an intense, noisy destination, scented with spices and visually stunning. You will hear the moving call to prayer echoing from the mosques, smell the sweet mint tea on every corner, and see landscapes that change drastically from snowy peaks to green oases and golden sands in just a few hours of travel. Now let us move on to logistics and planning. What is the best time to visit Morocco? The best time to explore the entire country comfortably is during spring and autumn, specifically the months of March, April, May, September, and October. In these months, the weather is spectacular. The days are sunny and warm just right, and the nights are cool, which is the perfect setting for walking all day in the cities and taking the desert tour. Summer from June to August is the low season for tourism inland because the heat is absolutely relentless. In the Sahara Desert and in cities like Marrakesh, thermometers easily exceed 113 degrees Fahrenheit, making tours exhausting and even dangerous during the day. Winter from December to February has pleasant days, but the nights are surprisingly freezing, especially in the desert and in the Atlas Mountains where it usually snows a lot, which can even block the roads. And how many days to stay? Morocco is a country that requires long commutes to see the most famous landscapes. If you only have 4 or 5 days, the ideal is to focus only on Marrakech and take a short trip to the nearby mountains. But to live the complete experience, getting to know the imperial cities, crossing the Atlas Mountains, spending 2 nights in the Sahara Desert, and visiting the Blue City in the north, the perfect itinerary requires 10 to 14 full days. Now let us talk about transportation and how to get around the country. The train system in Morocco is excellent, safe, and very cheap to travel between the northern and coastal cities. There is even a very modern bullet train that connects Casablanca to Tangier in a little over 2 hours. To explore the interior, cross the mountains and go to the Sahara Desert, trains do not reach there. The best option for those who want comfort and zero stress is to hire a private driver or book a guided tour in 4-wheel drive vehicles. They know the dangerous mountain roads like the back of their hand. Renting a car is an option for the more adventurous who want freedom. The main highways are good, but prepare yourself for narrow streets, very chaotic traffic near big cities, and frequent police checkpoints that demand strict respect for speed limits. And remember that it is forbidden to enter with cars inside the Medinas, which are the old walled cities. Staying in a good region will define the style of your trip. The strategy in Morocco is to do a circular itinerary, changing bases to explore the country deeply. The first and main base is Marrakesh. The mandatory experience is to stay in a riad inside the Medina. Riads are old Moroccan mansions that have no windows on the outside, but inside hide stunning courtyards with water fountains, colorful mosaics, and gardens. It is an oasis of absolute silence and freshness in the middle of the chaos of the old city. For those looking for gigantic resorts and luxury in the European standard, the Hivernage neighborhood outside the walls is the right choice. The second base is the city of Fez, the spiritual and cultural capital of the country. Staying inside the ancient Medina of Fez is like going back in time to the 8th century in a giant labyrinth exclusive for pedestrians and pack donkeys. The third base is the desert region in the villages of Mersouga or Zagora. Here you do not stay in a hotel but in luxury Berber camps in the middle of the dunes, sleeping in huge tents with a king-size bed and private bathroom under a sky lined with stars. The fourth base, if you have time to go north, is the city of Chefchaouen, the famous blue city embedded in the mountains. Staying near the main square makes it easy to walk the picturesque slopes. We created this personalized map that explains exactly which is the best city and region to build your base. Staying in a good riad in the Medina of Marrakesh, you cannot go wrong. We will leave here on the screen code and in the video description the link to this exclusive map. We created them on the hotel site we always use, as it always has the best prices and reliable options. We will also leave links to the hotels we have already stayed at and approved. In all destinations, we always recommend one that is very cheap and super well located for those who want to save money, and another that is a little better in the same location but a little more expensive with more comfort. These are great options tested by us. An important tip to save on accommodation is the advanced strategy. The most beautiful and highly rated riads in Morocco are small, having only 5 or 6 rooms in total. Therefore, they sell out many months in advance, especially in the spring and autumn seasons. That is why we really like using this site we indicated. In addition to having the lowest prices, it has free cancellation with almost all hotels. You can book as soon as possible to guarantee a much lower price. And if you need to cancel later due to any change of plans, it is super easy and at no cost. And remembering that in this link below, we always organize everything you need to set up your entire trip for the lowest price on a single page. The sites we use to build our trips, and that have everything much cheaper, such as the international cell phone chip to have internet in the middle of the desert, the travel insurance with discount, which is fundamental for Africa, the tickets for the palaces and guided tours, the good and cheap hotels we have already stayed at, and the global account to carry your money paying lower fees. Save this page in your favorites. Now let us divide the country by regions and unmissable attractions. Starting with the south and the vibrant Marrakech. Your trip must begin at Jamia El Fnia Square, the beating heart of Marrakesh. During the day, it is full of snake charmers, trained monkeys, and freshly squeezed orange juice vendors. At night, the square turns into a gigantic open-air restaurant, covered in smoke and local music. Visit the Bahia Palace with its courtyards decorated with geometric tiles and carved wooden ceilings that show the pinnacle of Islamic architecture. Escape the center and go to the Majorelle Garden. This is a spectacular botanical garden painted in a very strong cobalt blue tone, which was bought and restored by the famous fashion designer Yves Saint Laurent. It is the most photographed place in the city, exploring the desert route and the Sahara. Leaving Marrakech, you will cross the majestic high Atlas Mountains, passing by snow-capped mountains and winding curves until you reach the arid side of the country. The mandatory stop is the village of Ait Ben Haddou. It is a fortified city made of red mud that looks like a mirage. The place is so cinematic that it served as a setting for the movie Gladiator and the Game of Thrones series. Continue the journey to the village of Merzouga. This is where the asphalt ends and the Sahara Desert begins. The ultimate experience in Morocco is riding a camel in the late afternoon and walking slowly through the gigantic orange sand dunes of Erg Chebi. Watch the sunset from the top of a dune, eat traditional food cooked over a ground fire at the Berber camp, and listen to the guides playing drums around the bonfire under the Milky Way. Going to the center and the north. The trip continues to the city of Fez. It has the largest medieval medina in the world, with more than 9,000 tiny alleys that form a labyrinth where even cell phone maps get lost. Hire an official guide so you do not end up walking in circles. The main attraction of Fez are the tanneries, especially the Chouara tannery. You climb up to the store terraces to see from above dozens of stone vats full of natural dyes where workers dye animal skins using 11th century methods. The smell is very strong, so the vendors offer a bunch of fresh mint leaves for you to put near your nose while watching. If you have time, head north to the city of Chefchaouen, nestled in the Rif Mountains. Absolutely all the walls, doors, windows, and stairs of the historic center are painted in different shades of light blue. Walking there transmits enormous peace and yields wonderful photographs. Finish the trip passing through Casablanca just to visit the Hassan II Mosque. It is one of the largest mosques in the world, and one of the only ones in Morocco that allows the entry of non-Muslims. It was built with part of its structure advancing over the waters of the Atlantic Ocean. It is a colossal work of architecture and faith. An important tip that will save you time and money is to book the 2- or 3-day desert tours in advance. Leaving it to buy on the streets of Marrakech is risky, as there are many unofficial agents who charge abusive prices and deliver tents with no structure or safety. Tickets like the one for the Majorelle Garden also sell out fast and can only be bought online. We will leave in the screen code and in the description the link to the site where we always book our tours with safety, real reviews, and guarantee. Now, let us move on to gastronomy. Moroccan cuisine is aromatic, rich, and comforting, made to be shared. The main star is the tagine. It is not just the name of the food, but of the clay pot with a cone-shaped lid where it is made. Tender lamb, beef, or chicken meats are cooked slowly in their own steam, mixed with vegetables, prunes, apricots, and toasted almonds. The contrast of the salty meat with the sweet fruit is divine. Moroccan couscous is the family dish, made of steamed wheat semolina and topped with a giant vegetable and meat stew. Tradition dictates that locals eat couscous religiously every Friday after prayer. For adventurous palates, try the pastilla. It is a baked pie with extremely thin and crispy puff pastry, traditionally filled with pigeon or shredded chicken with almonds, and the magic touch is that it is sprinkled with powdered sugar and cinnamon on top. It is a sweet and savory explosion in the same bite. And you cannot leave the country without participating in the mint tea ritual, affectionately called Berber whiskey. Green tea is boiled with generous handfuls of fresh mint leaves and lots of sugar. It is served in small, colorful glass cups poured from high above to create foam. It is a universal symbol of hospitality. Quick and in-depth shopping tips. The souks, which are the markets inside the medinas, are a paradise for those who love home decor. Morocco is world famous for its wonderful Berber rugs, hand-woven with sheep wool and natural dyes by mountain tribes. Buying a rug involves sitting drinking tea with the seller and watching dozens of them being unrolled on the store floor. Pure argan oil used for hair and skin is endemic to Morocco. The golden tip is to buy directly from women cooperatives on the roads, connecting Marrakesh to the coast to ensure it has not been mixed with cheap oils. The city of Fez is the best place to buy genuine leather goods like bags, jackets, and soft poofs straight from the source of the tanneries. The #1 rule of shopping in Morocco is haggling. Never accept the first price. Offer a third of the asking price and negotiate with a smile on your face until you reach a fair agreement. It is part of their culture and they have fun with it. Mandatory documentation for international tourists and safety. Safety Morocco is a politically stable country and very safe regarding violent crimes against tourists. However, tourist scams are frequent. The most common is the fake guide scam in the Medinas, where people offer help to show you the way or say the street you want to go to is closed only to take you to an acquaintance store and demand aggressive tips. Use offline map applications and politely ignore anyone who approaches you on the street offering directions. For women, it is recommended to dress modestly, covering shoulders and knees in respect to the local Islamic culture, which helps avoid insistent stares and unwanted approaches. Visa. Most Western tourists do not need a visa to enter Morocco for stays of up to 90 days. You just need a passport with a minimum validity of 6 months from the date of entry into the country. Travel insurance. Although not required at immigration, traveling to Morocco without travel insurance is madness. Public medical infrastructure outside the large capitals is basic. If you get severe food poisoning due to the change in spices, or suffer an accident in the desert dunes, or falling off a camel, private medical rescue costs tens of thousands of dollars. We never travel without it, and in the link in the description there is the comparator we always use to find the best coverage for half the price. If you liked this complete and deep guide about Morocco, like the video, and subscribe to our channel to travel more and better around the world. Thank you very much and have a safe trip.